whoa. The sound's cutting out, man. Here we go. Sounds kind of funky there, the sound that is. There we go.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, good. You sound kind of far away there.
Oh, you hear me now?
Yeah, well, not as about the same now. I don't know what's up with my end. You know, the pages have not been responsive, but we're still live on my end here.
Did you hear the music? That is the most crazy thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. All right, let me turn the volume on my phone here. I have it on my phone just to make sure everything's going good there. I don't know, for some reason on my computer, this one pages have been unresponsive, but yet I'm seeming to be streaming live with no issue here. I don't know if it's the Wi-Fi or what the fuck it is there. Is Ark here yet, dude? What the fuck is going on here, man? What is going on here? Why is nothing working right for some reason? It's been fucking up for the past couple of the nights here. It's been fucking up earlier today as well. Where's YR at? Come on, man. What the hell? Son of a bitch. Trying to get Ark in, but I don't know what the fuck is going on here, but the thing's it's not working right. Hold on a second, I'll be back. Excuse me for a second. Moment of silence.
Led Zeppelin, which
I've been listening to for a while, for years, but not really in the deep, deep, you know.
Ooh, you're missing out on some stuff.
I mean, I like. I need to look up the song, heartbeat, or heartbreak, or
Heartbreaker.
I'm
yeah.
back.
That I don't know if you would consider that deep, but
No, that was,
you know.
I wasn't able to hear what you were saying. I had to step outside and
I'm
talk
back.
about it. All right, we're back.
Yeah, I'm back now. I fixed it. We were just listening to this Black Sabbath thing, and Rob Halford was
Singer.
covering.
Yeah, was that from 2004?
Yeah, it was the most recent one, yes.
All right, yeah,
And
because remember there were two times where Halford filled in for Sabbath, back in '92 and 2004 there.
let me tell you something. I listened to the '92 stuff and this stuff, which we were just playing. It was 2004. But let me tell you something. Halford, boy, I mean, this is not being disrespectful or anything, but he blows, because he covered both. He blows Ozzy and Dio out of the water.
Yeah,
I mean,
I remember you texted that to me
oh
not too long ago when
my
I talked
God.
about it. There we go. There. Now you're
And
sounding
plus,
clear.
and the bass is, from Geezer Butler, the bass is I think he's using a damn wah pedal, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's using wah pedal,
Yeah.
especially Oh Yeah one, you know what I'm saying?
All
The
right.
Oh Yeah song. And the bass is solid, the fucking guitar is great. Uh, they were using a different drummer in '92, correct? Or
Yeah.
no?
Well, yeah. The drummer in that period
Okay.
was Vinny Appice.
All right, and then in 2004 they used
Bill Ward.
Bill Ward.
Yep.
So I mean, look, if he sounded like Ozzy on the Ozzy songs, and he sounded like Dio on the Dio songs, but better.
Yeah.
Like he,
Yeah.
I mean, I just can't get I cannot believe I never heard about this before. I mean, this is,
I'm
I
surprised
don't know why
myself
they never,
because I mean I'm surprised myself because it's well documented for many years that Sabbath filled in for Dio back in '92 and 2004 there. Of course, Dio didn't want to be a part of those two shows in Costa Mesa, California, because he had a grudge against Ozzy Osbourne for the things that Ozzy said about him in the past. And of course, Ozzy was very sick in 2004, so Halford once again had to be called in.
right. That, and if y'all, I mean, all you Sabbath fans out there, or just anyone out there, I'm telling you, don't sleep on Judas Priest. Don't sleep on Rob Halford. I mean, that was incredible. I mean, look, Dio, I personally like those years the best Sabbath,
Yeah, yep,
but he when he did the Dio song Heaven and Hell, he did. I mean, all the ones I like, Neon Nights, Die
yep.
Young. I was like, oh,
Children of the Sea,
Children of the Corn. I mean, he did great.
Children of the
No, this is
Corn,
right. No,
Children of the
Like Children
Grave,
of
you
the
meant.
Sun.
Children
Children of the Sun.
of the Sun.
Yeah, that
Or
one.
Children of the
Nah, man.
Grave
What am I
as
talking?
well.
Well, they did those two songs there.
Children of the Sun with Billy Thorpe I'm playing.
Oh my
Well,
God.
those,
Oh, the
listen,
son of a name goat. Now you got us all
they,
confused here.
that would be cool if they did like Judas Priest tours with Sabbath, but like Alfred sings Sabbath and does some Priest songs too, like hybrid, like, because he can do it better. Like, that is cool. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, sure
It
there.
really was good. But anyways, into the news.
Yeah, I
Which
got
you
this.
want to talk about? You want to talk about the Robert Trujillo, James Hetfield beef, or you
Yeah,
want to
well,
talk
there's
about?
not really such a big beat, but actually, what it is, I got a blabbermouth.net on my
Yes.
phone here. Seems that Robert Trujillo, the bassist of Metallica, was a featured guest on the latest episode of the X-Men with Don Coyle, the podcast where Bad Woes and God Forbid guitarist Doc Coyle talks to professionals in the music world and other creative industries about the challenges and the transitions of leaving monumental ventures. Speaking with the importance of getting along with your bandmates, Trujillo said in a part, as transcribed by blabbermouth.net, quote unquote, any situation people that are coming up and doing bands Never get caught up in the idea that you're in your band and you're safe and nothing can touch you. Anybody can be replaced, and you always want to try to be as respectful as possible because you're going to have your ups and downs and you're going to bump heads, and that's a given. But it doesn't mean you quit or hate the person or whatever. He continues by saying, I've always been in situations in my groups where there have been moments where things get heated, you're bumping heads, and that happens in Metallica a lot of times. There's been a couple of times, even with James Hetfield. James is a little, maybe something's bothering him. I remember one time a few years ago, about 3 years ago in Italy, poor guy, he got stung by a bee in his face, I think it was. I don't think he's allergic, but there was a poison oak going on. So your face is hurting, your body's itching, you're out there on the road, it's raining. We were in Italy or something, and one of the songs, like The Memory Remains or something there, I had a lot in my head at that time. Kirk and I were doing these duets, and I'm singing in different languages. Lars Ulrich threw in, like, do a bass solo, kind of the day before, and like, I'm so tense. And James is intense too. But we're tense about different things. We're going on stage very soon that things are running late. We're playing The Memory Remains in the tuning room. And I'm kind of jamming through it, and I'm not really jamming through it with full intensity. I'm just like ghosting it a little bit. He's like, you know the song, and this is a song we played thousands of times before. And I was insulted because this is one of the easiest songs that we play. And you're asking me if I know this song? So I'm like, yeah, I know the fucking song. I blew a fuse for a second and I felt horrible. And then he felt horrible. And then we realized, I think that I'm tripping on the load that I have on my shoulders over here. He's tripping on this and probably, I get it, man. I've had poison oak. I've had bee stings before, and it ain't fun. So you're out there, you're trying to be the best you can. So rather than throwing your instruments down and coming to blows or anything like that, like John Five and Marilyn Manson almost did that one night.
Yeah. And did you know about the backstory? Because I heard John Five talk about that recently. He was like, someone in his family, his sister or his mom or something, just passed away.
Wow.
Like
Sorry to hear that.
night or the night before or something. So
yeah.
That's why he kind of like, was short fused with, Marilyn Manson there.
I see there, yeah.
But go ahead.
Yeah, better. Anyways, when you don't want to throw your instruments down or come to blows, you work it out. You kind of calm yourself and you realize what's going on. So even in our situation, things like that can happen. It's just the nature of the beast. We're all individuals. We have our moments, so I always stress out over that, now more than ever. Word to the wise, always maintain your composure. You're in a band, that's cool, but it's about the relationship, and that's being the best that you can be. The best human you can be, the best brother, the best comrade, and that's very important to everything here. Now, Trujillo, who was born in 1964 in Santa Monica, California, tasted success as a member of Suicidal Tendencies. He played with Ozzy Osbourne's band, and in 2003, he succeeded Jason Newsted in Metallica's bass playing position. And he was also featured in the movie Some Kind of Monster that released that year, along with the Saint Anger album, even though the guy didn't play on that album. Bob Rock, their co-producer, played the bass on that record there. Now, Metallica's much-loved bassist here, we all know he died in 1986 when the band's tour bus crashed traveling through Sweden on the Damage Incorporated tour in support of the Master of Puppets album. Now, he feels no pressure, by the way, they mentioned in a 2016 interview, when being compared to his low-end predecessors. He said, when it was Jason, myself, or Cliff, we're all different types of players coming from a different place. But delivering is what is best for the band. That's what all I ever do. Just try and do the best I can to cater to the song, cater to the music. Now, Hetfield praised Trujillo in a 2017 interview with the Buzz radio station there. I don't know if it's the one here in Houston there or what. He's saying,
Yes. Is
what?
it 94.5 The Buzz?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yay,
That's the,
Houston. Yeah, Houston bound,
well,
baby.
see,
What?
back in the, I don't know, I mean, like back in the day, it's kind of, radio in the 90s was big.
Yes.
You know, listening to rock radio in the 90s, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98 was so big. Then in the 2000s, obviously, you know, XM kind of came out. You know, internet
Yeah.
radio, whatever.
Yeah.
But in the 90s,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously in the 80s and other eras, but, you know, rock radio, alternative rock radio, just radio in general was so popular and so big. It
Yeah, I
was
know.
a thing. And I don't know about nowadays. When you go to concerts and you see like radio stations have like little tents there, and they
Yeah.
have like giving away
Promo-
koozies and stuff.
Yeah,
They still have that?
absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, they do
Promote
that.
it.
Promote the radio station, attract new listeners here and there. That's how they usually do it there. Back in the day, like Pine Knob, back in the Clarkson, Michigan.
They still have Pine Knob today.
Yeah,
by the way.
they renamed it back to Pine Knob after many years of being known as the DTE Energy Music Theater.
Someone, I saw someone was touring there. I forgot who, but they were going to be there.
Mm.
You know,
I'm not too sure myself there. Like I said, I don't live in Michigan no more, so it's hard to understand that. But the only thing I know about what goes on at Pine Knob is when a couple of my friends, you know, talk about, you know, who was playing there, such and such there, or post photos. That's the only thing I know.
Right.
There's a friend of mine named Mary who posts stuff from concerts and venues she's been in a couple of times there. Another gal that she knows named TJ.
well, stop
She-
doxing all your friends. I mean,
I'm
come on.
not really doxing them. If I were, I'd be telling their
Hmm.
last names and where they work at and shit there. But I don't know where they work at, and I'm not doxing their last name. So we're good
well,
on
we
that.
need to. Well, Pie Dob, shout out to Pie Dob, and we
Yep.
need to get it.
Need to get into what?
Let's close on the Metallica news.
Okay.
We need to get into the Lou Graham stuff, which I think is
Yeah,
bigger
here's
than
some-
Metallica
here-
news. But
Here's something here. I found this out here. Former vocalist of Foreigner, Lou Graham, says that guitarist Mick Jones's greed was the reason why he didn't get any songwriting credit on their hit "I Want to Know What Love Is." I'm going to get on here and see. Here it is. We got it now. Former singer Lou Graham says that the greed was the main reason why he was not credited on the songwriting list there. The power ballad, which is credited solely to just Mick Jones, was released in 1984 in November of that year as a lead single from their fifth album, Ancient Provocateur, an album that many critics and fans panned ruthlessly, saying it's not the Foreigner we used to know.
time,
Yeah.
little time, I think things over.
I remember one critic writing that I had many great occasions while listening to Foreigner music, but Ancient Provocateur was not any of them. Now, Graham discussed his supposed lack of contribution to the track during the brand new interview with the Sessions, speaking about his involvement with the song, and of course, Waiting for a Girl Like You from 1981, another big smash for the group. I did help co-write those songs, and I didn't get any credit for what I want to know what love is. I've always loved writing melodies and lyrics. I liked working on arrangements and everything too. And Mick was the master of arrangements. So we crafted both those songs together, and I'm certainly proud of both of them. After we would record an album, Mick and I would sit down and we would run a list of the songs, and he would say, "What do you think you want on this song?" And I would say, "I think I like this one. I contributed quite a bit." And I would ask for about 40%, and he would say, "That's fine." And there were a lot of songs like Hot Blooded, things like that were split 50-50. A lot of songs, and Waiting for a Girl Like You, he really wrote most of that, but it had a good part of that as well. I think it was 65-30. And then Ian
Bro, it's
McDonald,
like, you know what this reminds me of?
what?
Band Sticks with
Dennis
the
Young.
former, yeah, Dennis DeYoung, who's not in the band, but kind of like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's
Yes.
weird.
That's understandable as well there. All right. Now, the article continues here. Ian McDonald, the former keyboardist, had a little piece of that as well. And I was fine with that. But then I want to know what love is. The two of us. Mick's home was about 50 minutes away from my home. So I would drive over to his house and we would work on that song. There'd be moments where it was just magic and then we hit our head on something creativity and that we couldn't get to the next point. And we also had to put the song away for a couple weeks and then come back to it again. I felt like we had worked our tails off to make that song what it is. And at the end of that album, when it was time to decide what the percentages were, I wrote down what I thought what he should be, and he wrote down what he thought should be. And I think I wrote about 65-35 for me, and basically was 65 for him and 35 for Lou. And I opened the little piece of paper that contained his note on, where I thought the correct split was. He wrote down 95-5. I was so stunned and crushed that I contributed next to nothing to that song. Here's the detail. Mick was working with a choir in the studio while we were recording that song. Remember, there's a choir singing the chorus near towards the end there. I was in another studio with an engineer singing the lead vocals. I did it by myself. I did all the ad-libs. I did all the emotional little nuisance and stuff there. And usually when I sing the lead to a song, especially a song potentially important as that one, he was right in the control room commenting on every line. This could be better. You could do that. You could do this. I did the whole thing myself, and he was working with the choir. And that ended up being the lead vocal. I don't even remember him saying, "Good job, Lou," but that was the lead vocal. I thought that was a pretty serious accomplishment for me. Only to be denigrated by another. Let me read this again. Only to be
Disintegrated.
not really disintegrated, but it's like denigrated.
How do you spell it?
It's
Denigrated.
Yes,
Oh,
thank you.
okay.
To being an author of 5%. That put a wedge in us. That was partially the beginning of the end.
But he was the fucking lead singer, bro. Mick Jones is a dick.
Yeah. Remember, this is a guy
Man,
that tried to.
like not for nothing, but okay, like the guitarist really isn't the number one most important member in the band. It's like the second.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, technically, really the drums is the driving force
Yeah.
of the band. You get what I'm saying? But like the lead singer makes the band. That makes the sound. It's like the signature sound, just like Metallica with the signature sound.
Yeah.
James Hetfield, the Doors,
With Joe Morrison.
all your great lead singers. Like it's really all about the lead singer. So like why? And look at Foreigner now. It's totally unoriginal now.
I know exactly because of course Jones is the only original guy left in that group there, and a couple
He doesn't
times
go. He doesn't full time tour though. He's part time. Like
exactly,
that,
which is
like,
even more
so-
atrocious. Like we're going there to hear those songs, but at the same time, the songs are being performed by this air quote tribute band with the band's name
Now-
on it. It's like, give me a break.
Now I do have to. I'm picky, but I'm not. When you're at a show, and if you have good seats, or if you're close to stage, whatever, in general, the experience is very, it's unlike no other.
Yeah,
Especially
exactly.
if they're sounding good, that's a bonus, blah blah blah. But just in general,
Yeah.
going to a concert it was kind of like a big deal. Like it's pretty cool. Like, what I'm saying? You get to see the artists, other people are there seeing the same artist you like, so sometimes you can mingle with other people there at the you know what I'm saying? So it's a whole. It's just I can't even think of the word. It's great. It's positive. It's really cool. You know what I'm saying?
Mesmerizing, I think you were trying to come up with, I guess.
And all that. So of
And
course, if
also,
the
I gotta
band,
also add
if
this there. There'll be all my.
if you got to kind of hello,
Hello,
hello. Let me
hello.
finish my
Oh,
speech. Let me
okay,
finish my
my bad.
speech. Let me finish my speech. Hold on. So when you go to concerts, right,
Yeah,
you need to kind of know, okay, is this the full band? Blah blah blah. I mean, a lot of these bands left aren't the full original members.
I know.
So it's like you kind of gotta. I mean, sometimes people don't care about that. You look at a band like Quiet Riot, you're not getting Kevin
The
DuBrow. You're not getting.
Carlos Cavazo
It's
or Frankie Benali. You're just skinny Rudy Sarzo and a bunch of new guys there.
when you go see Queen, which was in the news. It wasn't as big, but they're doing a new tour type thing.
Yeah,
Adam Lambert,
yeah,
with Queen. So it's like you're not getting what it was originally, and you got to know that. You keep it in your mind, like, all right, we're not getting these people in their prime, blah blah blah. But and I keep in my mind, like the back of my mind, like, all right, it's a concert. We're seeing these people, like, it's fun. You got to take it as it is. Like, you're not going to get it what it sounds like on the record. I mean, there's some bands out there that it sounds like straight off the record, and they're doing it all live, like the Eagles and Skinny Puppy and
yep.
others. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yeah.
But go ahead, Brad. I'm sorry, I just
Yeah,
had a
but well,
passionate speech
well,
there.
you
So
also
go
got to
ahead.
remember that in the case of Skinny Puppy, they have to rehab about 10,000 synthesizers and percussionists to be able to kind of like duplicate the same kind of stuff they do in the studio there. So they
Right.
had to rely on backing tracks, with along with live drums and extra guitar there and live vocals. That's how it
Right.
does. But Mick Jones, keep in mind that during an interview in 1986, when Graham had that record, Ready or Not, it was a solo disc. The song Midnight Blue was a big hit on the radio there. The video was being played on both MTV and VH1 there. Now, the other members of Foreigner, they were congratulating Graham on the success of that song, but there was a dead silence from Mick, and I guess the problem was that his ego kind of got bruised. Because a couple of people are saying, this is fresh, this is entertaining, rather than the
Well, so
faceless.
like it really wasn't. It really wasn't like health problems that he left for, or he got fired or whatever. It was money issues that the band got rid of him, or he left because of money issues. Could
Well,
you?
there was a lot of more issues than money. I understand there was a lot of breakdown in communication between those two there. Now, the two finally got back together later on in the 90s there. They released albums like Mr. Moonlight and a couple of others there. It was Graham, Jones, and two other guys. They kept it as four-piece for a long while there. And then, of course, Graham, later developed his brain tumor there. He had to have brain surgery, of course, in which, he gained a lot of weight. He's still able to talk, still able to sing and stuff. But the problem is, Jones felt he had to start all new again because of Graham's situation there. So he had to let Graham go and get a new guy, Kelly Hansen, who used to sing in the band Hurricane a couple years before, way
He's
years
good
before
though.
that. Yeah,
He's
he is a good
he
singer. Yeah.
sounds just like a hurricane, but a lot of these people, like Journey, like the
Steve
Ripper,
Perry,
Tim Ripper Owens.
Tim Ripper Owens. Yeah.
They get these people that used to sing in these tribute bands of
Yes.
these bands. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I believe what's his name? The Chinese guy on Viacom.
Arnell, the guy who is currently sings with Journey there. I cannot pronounce his last name there, but him, Tim Ripper
Tim Ida.
Owens.
Yeah, he was. He was. I think he was in a Journey tribute band. So
I think so, but because I think it must have been at his home country there, because I think he's from Thailand or something like that. I've got to look that up. Filipino
South
or whichever there.
North Korea.
North Korea,
Um,
gotcha. But Jones has always kind of had that ego there. You got to remember, he felt like Foreigner is his band. He's the founding member, and such and such. I mean, if I were given a chance to see Foreigner, I would turn that out and say, nope, I could never do that because it's not the Foreigner we used to know as a kid there. I mean, like, there's no Ian McDonald, there's no Dennis Elliott, there's certainly no other members like this person or that person. It's all just it's just one original guy with a whole bunch of strangers. And keep in mind, Dokken is currently the same thing right now. It's just Don Dokken and three other guys in there. One of them a guitar player named John Levin.
He's not that bad.
Yeah, I know. I've heard a couple of his solos as well.
And
Not that bad either.
Drummer,
Yeah.
the drummer that we currently have, because what's his name was drumming up until like a year or two ago. Originally, the original drummer for Dokken.
Yeah, Wild Mick Brown. That was his name there.
He's pretty cool, but this other guy named BJ Zampa, his name is, he drums for George Lynch's solo group, which is called George Lynch and the Electric Freedom.
Okay,
So he's the same drummer. I mean, it's so ridiculous. Look, it's kind of weird you said that, but, I'll leave it at that because we're all Dokken guys here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure there, yeah.
But we all know that George Lynch is the draw nowadays because Don Dokken's voice is not what it was at all, not even close. So,
Yeah.
and
neither is Vince Neil. There's still we still have yet to see or hear any thing new about the Motley Crue, Poison, Def Leppard, Joan Jett tour there.
gotta go see that.
It would be nice, but
it's coming, bro. It's gonna be here.
because
But after.
But the
it's gonna be
question
like
is,
September.
the reason why I know it's supposed to be coming. Yeah, I
August.
realize that, but the problem is the ticket prices are way through the fucking roof. I mean, you gotta remember.
Yeah, but you're seeing 4 different bands, though. You
Yeah.
gotta keep that in mind too. You're not seeing
Yeah.
one group for.
That's true there. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, it's like a festival.
It is like
is.
it is.
It's like a festival. In the case, for the cost of it, you should at least have a carnival in the parking lot at least. They're like the Vans
Like, how
Warped
much
Tour
was-
used to do.
How much was Woodstock back in the day?
I do not know because I know with the original Woodstock or the '94.
Any of them, like $20 or something.
I don't know. I
$4.20?
should probably look that up. Now that you mentioned it there.
Well, partway into the first Woodstock, it ended up being a free concert.
That's true there. Yeah. Okay. Blah blah blah. Woodstock. And tickets. What am I talking
I
about?
don't.
here?
A little sidebar here. This has nothing to do with music.
Yeah.
Why do hockey players not wear the mouth guards like basketball players do? Like or football players wear the mouth guards. Like, why don't hockey players wear them out? I see watching these playoffs, like all these fucking players have their teeth missing in the front. The millionaires probably. And why don't they wear, some of them wear those covers.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
But
that's true. But then
Why
again, you
don't
also
they
got.
wear, I don't see them wearing mouthpieces. Weird.
I do not know. I'm not into hockey myself, but I know
It really
they
is great. It really
they
is
get a
great.
lot. They get a lot. Remember, they get a lot of fist fights a lot of times there. I mean, there was
it's great.
I remember back in the. I know. Yeah, I remember back in the shelter underneath
Florida
St.
Panthers,
Andrews.
baby.
I remember back in the shelter, there was this one bartender who would only show only the fights from all the Red Wings games. All the compilation of the best hockey fights out there while they're playing either bands like Rancid or Clutch. It was pretty interesting when you think about it there.
Red Wings, did you know Aerosmith stole their logo? I think it was one of those albums, the red and white.
Red and white one
Okay.
there.
Go and look at the logo for the Red Wings.
Not
story.
really. They're kind of similar, but the difference is, the Red Wings is just that. The one to be the questionable was maybe questionable is Red Wing shoes. There, they kind of because the logos for that, the symbols are maybe kind of somewhat similar,
Kind of
but
like,
not
kind of
necessarily.
like,
But who
it's
knows?
like how the Stone Temple Pilots use the STP logo. They do like, what's his name used to have it on his glasses? Richard Petty,
Oh, yeah.
NASCAR.
Well, the
Used to
story
have,
behind that name was because they were always intrigued by the STP,
oh,
logo and the name there. So
well, there
they
you
come
go.
up,
Then I'm
yeah,
right.
yep.
There you go.
So they
Okay.
kind of just hey, let's come up with some words that go with the that starts with an S, starts with a T, and a P as well there. So I guess that's
Right.
where Stone Temple Pilots, the name came about there.
Well, we got to get into. We got to get the lead out.
Absolutely there.
Are we
And
done with the? Let's end on the Lou Graham stuff because
yeah, it's,
I see they're never gonna be cool again.
I doubt if
Yeah.
it's going to happen there. To be honest with you, myself
Now, a
there.
couple years ago, I'm thinking maybe 2015 or definitely in the last 10 years, you know, I did see on, that Access channel they have, I did see that
Yeah,
Warner was doing a concert with, their members, and then
Lou
Lou
Graham.
Graham came out and like guests on like 4 or 5 songs or something. Like they did a special, so that was within the last 10 years.
Yeah,
They
I
might.
did believe that was an anniversary show there. They were doing.
That was good though.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
good.
he was doing good, but
That's right because tonight in our part 3 of our Big British Six series, we're going to be taking a look at another band that massively influenced everything in heavy metal and hard rock, Led Zeppelin. And we know the story behind Led Zeppelin. They came about after the disbandment of the original, one
gotta
of
go
the
down the
original.
list of albums
Yeah,
after this. But
yeah.
I wanted to say,
Hmm.
probably been listening to them for past 20 years,
Yeah.
and I was 10 years old when I got my first guitar, acoustic, Yamaha. And then grew from there. But just in the whole lore and you know, love of guitar and music and rock and everything. But but even back then, middle school, 6th grade, I was hearing my first Led Zeppelin. Even there was fellow students into Led Zeppelin at the time. Going into high school. I mean, this was back mid 2000s. There was plenty of people wearing Led Zeppelin shirts, whether they listen to music or not. I don't know, but the day, people
Yes.
knew. People
Yeah,
knew
absolutely.
who
Who the hell Led
Ronald
Zeppelin
Blank
are?
was. And
Absolutely there.
obviously, there's a lot of songs they have on commercials.
Yep. So, yeah. Well, not necessarily.
Cadillac commercials.
Really there. Of course, rock and roll, the main one of them. The song rock and roll,
Yes.
that is. And why not? Hey, let's have play the song rock and roll while driving 80 miles an hour on the freeway there. Yay!
Dr. Brown, you're doing way too much talking tonight. We're going to have to let
Ark.
Ark speak because he
All
didn't get
right.
much in last, but he's not really into Sabbath like we are. Like,
Oh, yes, I was.
There you go.
for real?
Yeah. Everyone was into Sabbath back then. Zeppelin.
No, but you were more into the, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, no,
Like-
I was a Sabbath fan.
You're more in Led Zeppelin than Sabbath, or no? About equal?
The two Led Zeppelins I like more.
You know more about, like, we can get into the deep lore of the records. Does everyone know the records? All the records from Led Zeppelin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Physical Graffiti. That's my favorite one. But
Yeah.
we got to get into how do we start this, Brown?
Well,
you want to get
well,
to the introduction of how they met, like
well, actually,
New
actually, what the story was, they were originally called the New Yardbirds after the dismantlement of the Yardbirds. Apparently, the story was, the rest of the Yardbirds wanted to lay back, give it a rest, while Page wanted to still carry on there. And him and their newfound manager, Peter Grant, who hit it off with Page, who would later also become Zeppelin's manager, they decided, hey, let's get control of the name Yardbirds and call ourselves the New Yardbirds there. So they got a singer named Robert Plant, a drummer named John Bonham, and a bass player and a session musician named John Paul Jones. So they put together, started doing some jams, come up with some songs there, blah, blah, blah. And then after a remark by Keith Moon saying that they would sink like a lead balloon, they decided to call themselves Led Zeppelin. Zeppelin being a term for a blimp, a big balloon there. So, therefore, the name was born. In fact, the cover of the first Zeppelin album, of course, as you know, was the Hindenburg blowing up. One of the most infamous photos of all time there, which dates back to the 1930s. It was considered a big tragedy. I mean, like, there was a lot of passengers on that blimp there, and it was so, wow, unbelievable. I remember the announcer talking about it. Oh, it's such a horrible sight. There was like the guy was almost in tears. But anyways, Zeppelin's first record comes out in 1969. It features Good Times, Bad Times, Black Mountain Side, Your Time's Gonna Come. Their cover versions of You Shook Me by Willie Dixon, and of course another Willie Dixon song called I Can't Quit You Babe. These guys were able to channel the blues massively. They did that in the Lemon song, Since I've Been Loving You, T for One. I mean, they did that pretty well. I mean, because the blues at the time was a major player in all the British musicians. Clapton, Yardbirds, John Mayall, Clapton, Cream, all those guys there. And of course, keep in mind, we all know the story about Dazed and Confused, being inspired by a singer named Jake Holmes. He did his version back on that album he did in '67. Page was and the Yardbirds about to do a show there, and Page saw Holmes perform the song during his crowd there. I figured, hey, let's do our version of that, but not perform it in the studio. There's only live versions available. One from French TV, which I saw on YouTube there. Of course, when the Zeppelin was finally formed and ready to roll, they decided to rewrite new lyrics for the song there, and give the song's credit to Jimmy Page. But now, it has been in parentheses, written by Jimmy Page, inspired by Jake Holmes, on the credit list of the reissues of the first album. Now, as we all know, the Zeppelin 2 comes out soon afterwards, featuring a whole lot of love. What
year was on this?
I believe it was 1970, I think it was there.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. A lot of great music was coming about there during those 2 years. We got to include the Uriah Heep's records as well there, because I heard some of those, and they're pretty damn good as well there. Now, the Lemon Song, Thank You, and Heartbreaker and Livin' Lovin' Maid, She's a Woman, which the radios used to tie in to play together all the time, because the songs were just, there was no space between the songs. It was just da-da, da-da-da, with a blah, 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 and it was just boom, just like that. There's no cut between the songs, so the stations decided, hey, just play them both, no matter what. Ramble On was a good classic song that's played a lot on the radio as well there. Bring It On Home, another bluesy jam there. And we cannot forget the drum solo piece, Moby Dick. The third record comes out a year later, Led Zeppelin 3, featured the Immigrant Song, Friends, Celebration Day, the ultra bluesy, powerful Since I've Been Loving You. I was playing pool back in Richmond, Michigan with a gal whose name I forgot. She used to work at a gas station there. I used to come by and say hi to her, get a couple of snacks and drinks there when I was coming back from a place called Tin Fish on Wednesday evenings there. And we met up at Tin Fish.
What?
It was a resort. It was by the Algonac area, close to that area there. They have this DJ plays some good tunes there. Every Wednesday I would check it out there. I would ride my bike from my spot in Richmond all the way there on County Line Road.
Wear a helmet?
No, didn't need to. I'm
No.
not one of those guys who feel the need to speed. Try to do somersaults
Safety
on my
feature.
wheels. Yep. I kept myself, and make sure nothing happened to me. You know. Plus, I would look like an outright dork when you think about
Thank
it. There.
No.
So, anyways,
Wear a dirt bike helmet though. You know
you
what I'm saying?
I want to get me one of the. Well, if I had a bike, it would probably be a stormtrooper or a Darth Vader helmet. But knowing me,
Real
but
quick,
that's.
real quick. Speaking of, we spoke about James Hetfield's mental breakdowns.
Yes, last
Maybe
time. Yeah.
Minnesota Vikings fan can relate. Vikings, how you doing, brother?
Oh.
Wow.
Well, that's your favorite band. So, what is your opinion?
Yeah,
Like,
that
you
is
think-
true. No, he's a big Met fan there. Remember, we did a show on Metallica a couple years back there.
Vikings. What do you think? Like, you think
I'm a
Hetfield?
big Metallica fan. I guess I can relate to James Hetfield on how YR.
No, I'm saying like, because I like him.
I
too.
sure,
Like,
you know what?
Yeah.
I wish I could relate to the money that he has.
Well, that doesn't mean anything.
Oh, we
'cause
all can. Believe me.
He's having mental breakdowns. It's an illness, like, you know what I'm saying. So that should tell everyone, like, hey,
Well,
you can be-
we don't need to clarify as a
Yeah.
mental illness
Well-
just yet. Because there are times
Well,
when you're near your
he had
age.
a breakdown on stage, Brown. He had a breakdown on
It's a-
stage, for God's sake. Come
Yeah.
on.
That is true. That is
Well-
common with men who guys our age. I mean, like there are times I figure like, fuck this. I'm sick and tired of don't want to be
Here's-
grown old. Blah blah blah.
Usually, guys who do that, like Marilyn Manson, Kid Rock, and shit, they're drunk or on some. So is fucking Hetfield
Here's-
drinking again, or go ahead?
Here's like the whole thing. YR
Go ahead, brother.
like Hatfield was never really trying to be the fucking mean lead guy for Metallica. All right? Nah, he's the original founder of fucking Metallica. Unfortunately, is Lars. All right, Lars
Yeah.
is the guy that originated Metallica, not Hatfield. So Hatfield never really fucking wanted to be in the spotlight. To let you guys all
Yeah, but
know,
he's so
like,
fucking good, bro, and he's a household.
he's
fucking
awkward.
name.
He
dude,
is.
But he's the whole thing. The whole thing is he's an awkward dude, and the
Yeah.
dude was all fucked up, especially when his parents died when he was like 11 or 12.
Wow.
And the whole thing was he never was meant to be like the leader or the mouthpiece for Metallica. It was more
Yeah.
like Lars. You know what I'm saying? So this is how he handled it, dude. He's all fucked up. Of course he's fucked up, dude. He never wanted fucking. He wanted to be the guy that just fucking laid back and let Lars do all the talking and let Lars do all the interviews and let him do everything. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
when you're the lead singer of Metallica, it fucking don't work like that.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
And as big as
So-
Metallica is at the moment, you're going to expect input from all the members there.
I mean, you got to realize something too, YR. There's only 2 original members of Metallica.
Right.
The rest, they've been fucking changed and redone, and guys have died, and guys have been kicked out because they're drug addicts, and fucking so many things have fucked up that have happened to Metallica, dude. Let me know how the fuck you would be if you were James Hetfield after 40 years of this shit, YR.
Well.
After 40 years of being in it and shit going bad, on and off, the dude gets fucking scorched in the middle of a fucking concert and fucking can't even finish fucking playing the song no more. And he's sitting out there all taped up, all fucked up, and
Yeah.
somebody else is playing his part. I mean, dude, all kinds of shit's I mean, it ain't been a smooth road for the guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It
but he
ain't
doesn't
been
have to keep
smooth.
touring though, motherfucker.
Well,
But the thing is, but he's still out
40
there.
years.
He's still kicking ass. He's still
Yeah,
he's not, he
yeah,
didn't he
he still
didn't he
can do
didn't
it.
cower away after what happened in Montreal in '92 and say I ain't performing no more. Yeah, he kept on going and going.
No.
Yeah, he wasn't able to play guitar, but yeah, the arm was bandaged up, but he was still able to sing well, and he
Look,
he
I
actually did a
personally-
good job, and he was a good front man as well.
Well,
Yeah,
Vikings. I personally, I don't want to say like people are better when they drink, but I think it's cool that when rock stars drink and like the whole lifestyle. Still, like I think that's pretty cool. But obviously, age and blah blah blah. But that's what it's all
Well,
about,
hey,
right? You know what I'm saying?
Here's the whole thing too is the tour that they're doing right now is probably part of what they were supposed to be doing in the middle of COVID.
Yeah, true.
So they're partially they're making up for dates that they fucking got fucked on it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
And
obviously
shit.
there.
So
I think it's safe to say that COVID's one of the big reasons why everything in the groceries and gas is going up. To make up for the lost revenue that was lost during the pandemic a couple years ago.
No, it's Putin. Putin.
And that's going to, along with that as well there.
Putin's gonna die by the end of the year anyway. So who cares?
Oh,
He's gonna. You guys know that, right?
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, dude. He's got one foot in the grave, man. I think he's been diagnosed that he ain't gonna make it through the end of the year.
Well, I didn't
Yeah, I
hear
think
about
he
that.
does.
You know, wow.
the Gary's disease, or Tommy John surgery. Did you, Millhouse? Did you Vikings fan? Did you
Millhouse, I fucking thought that.
you know anything about Led Zeppelin? Ever heard of them?
Yeah, of course, man.
Everybody's heard of Led
I
Zeppelin.
I was listening to you guys the whole time, man. There's another band. That's another thing too. Before there was internet and shit, there was this shit on pay-per-view, and it was a lost tape of fucking Led Zeppelin.
Wow.
And it was them, like,
Nice.
it was them. You could probably go on YouTube and find it now. And what it is they're in this little studio concert, and there's fucking probably not more than 100 people in there. And fucking, it's really good. It's a good fucking concert, actually, dude.
Yeah,
It's
probably
long,
when
too.
they were starting out there.
Yeah, they were really young, dude. Super ass young. And it was just in a little studio. It was like one that was never out. It never got released. And then all of a sudden, fucking, I remembered when I had a pirate box, and I got free pay-per-view, and fucking, that's where I saw it. And it was good.
Did
Like-
you so like who? So who's the better?
They're probably like 20 years old in it, man.
Who's the
Tell
better? Who's the better? Who's the better front? Hello, who's the better front man? Is it Robert Plant or is it Mick Jagger? Who's the quintessential number one front man between those two?
I don't think as much.
Either
I don't
either
think
of
as
them?
much as the Rolling Stones. I don't like them that much, honestly. I think the Rolling Stones are overrated, man.
It is.
I don't know
That's
about
true
you
there.
guys.
I
And
mean,
I've seen them live. I've seen the Rolling Stones live, dude, and I don't know, man. I think they're overrated. My buddy
Really?
was.
I know Jagger's overrated, but I respect Keith Richards a
What?
lot more because, well,
Oh my
I know,
God.
but the thing is, so many people, you remember with all those hippy-dippy bands in the early 90s that emerged out of England, they were all trying to copy Jagger's moves. What do you think about it? One of them was that band called Primal Scream that had its one hit during around that time. The singer was trying to mimic the 70s Mick Jagger on stage.
What's
a
the
few
one
times.
What's the one that's
I mean-
out now? It's an English group, and he kind of looks like Mick Jagger, but it's still a popular group. What is it? It's
I don't know.
there's K, I think the something.
KK
No.
Kawaka? Give me a clue,
Oh,
dude.
what?
But I don't know. I
Well,
don't know what you're talking about there. So,
The only
Kalash-
thing, the only thing
Chameleon.
only thing I'll give is that the Rolling Stones are fucking. And isn't Jagger like 70 and they're still touring?
Yes,
I think
that's
so.
why you
Yeah,
gotta-
they are.
That's the only thing I'll fucking give them that. You know what I'm saying? If you're 70 and you're still out there fucking doing it, that's pretty good.
They've had
No.
twice as many heart attacks.
Actually,
as
he
you.
has to be close to 80.
Damn.
80 now?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Close to
Look
that,
it
man.
up because I'm 71 and I know he's older than me.
Yeah.
And they're still doing fucking tours.
Yeah.
Minnesota Vikings
Exactly.
is 85.
I'm at least 85, right, YR?
And also give, of course, Keith Richards all over it's a god of memes right now with him.
I'm gonna get something to drink real quick. I'll be right
Okay,
back.
I mean, what do you
We'll
think
get a
about
beer,
it?
yeah, alcoholic.
Most credit to Keith Richards for still being out there. I mean, but the guy's a fucking time lord, for crying out loud.
Yeah, they're one of them ageless fucking bands, man. That's what I get. I mean, but shit too. When you talk about it too, Metallica's in their 50s and they're out there getting it done.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm
They're still
saying?
out
So
there.
what the fuck, man?
Exactly.
They're not like fucking, oh man, I'm 50 and my hair's turning gray and my beard's turning gray and
Yeah, it's true
I'm
there.
done. They're out there fucking doing stadiums, and at the rate they're going, they're probably gonna go for another 20 years. I bet you they'll be 70, 80 years old like the Rolling Stones, and them fuckers will still be doing a tour, dude. I
Oh,
could see it, man. As long as there ain't no like, COVID hit or nothing like that.
I know,
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Yeah, it's true there. You know,
They that's
like
that's
I
the thing
was.
about them.
Go
They
ahead.
got no fucking problems selling out a stadium with 60,
Oh,
70, 80,000 people.
no, because of the
What are you gonna do?
Okay. Mick Jagger is 78.
Wow.
Two
Keith
years.
Richards is 78.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Steven Tyler is 74.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
I
Paul
knew
McCartney is 79.
Damn. Holy cow. I can imagine what John Lennon's age would it be if he was still around.
He'd be in his 80s.
That's true
Yeah,
there,
I think
yeah.
he was a couple of years older.
I think
Yeah.
Yoko Ono's even more in her 80s because she was 7 years older than Lennon when they first met. He was 30, she was 37.
Yoko.
Oh. But,
Hmm.
credit to Keith Richards for being the ultimate rock and roll time lord when you look at it there.
He died 25 years ago and they forgot to tell him.
Or better yet, he kept regenerating himself there in the same body. I mean, when you tell
You
the
know what?
guys, what's up?
But let's see, like,
Vikings,
okay.
you should go live.
I seen Guns N' Roses in like '92
Yeah, they're
when
horrible.
they were in their fucking prime.
Yeah,
And in
they're
fact-
horrible. They suck though. Come
No,
on,
dude,
man.
listen to this. This was unbelievable. What was
Yeah.
unbelievable was that I was sitting 11th row at the fucking concert.
What?
Mm.
Yeah, dude.
Really?
You know what was great?
What?
You
Smell
know
like
what
weed
was
there?
great?
Was people smoking joints?
What was so great was when the motherfucker, when he did November Rain, dude,
Mm.
and the piano was even closer to my seats where I was at, like literally fucking, I could
Oh my
see
God.
everything that fucker was drinking, and he's got all these goblets of fucking different wines, and he's got like 11 different drinks sitting on the fucking piano, and fucking I can see him, and he's slurping on them while he's playing and shit the whole time, fucking because I had such a great seat.
What?
But-
Did it smell like weed
Yeah.
there? Was people smoking joints inside, you think,
Yeah.
or no? Smell?
Yeah.
What?
What?
Holy
was like-
shit.
I think Soundgarden opened for him.
Yeah, I remember
They weren't bad. And then I
Soundgarden.
see
Soundgarden
I
used to
see
get
it.
the green light, to do longer shows if Guns N' Roses is going to be a lot more later than expected.
Really?
Because Guns N' Roses was always late they would start at a later time, like, let's say if Soundgarden went on at 9 p.m., it would be about close to 11 p.m. before Guns N' Roses get the stage.
But you wouldn't say Soundgarden is grunge, though? Grunge genre?
Well,
Which Guns N' Roses?
alternative, grunge, well, basically, they liked it, Soundgarden, and they wanted to help get Soundgarden out there to the people to enjoy.
And then I seen Korn.
Mm.
I've seen Candlebox, and I think, honestly, dude, fucking Candlebox is one of the greatest fucking concerts I ever got.
know what's on their home.
They were the last fucking band at fucking Edge Fest, which, if you guys remember that, it was like a 2-day event of fucking concerts, right?
Yes.
Like
I
it was
see
Saturday and Sunday, and they were the last concert on the last day. And fuck, man, dude, they were so fucking good. I mean, I was
What?
drunk as hell.
Really?
I was wasted, dude. I was so, and it rained all night, and it was a mud pit, and it was nasty. It was fucked, right? And I was just drunk, dude. And like I started sobering up pretty good when they got a concerts up, but I don't hit them up no more, man.
Y'all should do that.
I
That's
used
what
to
I
like
do.
that shit.
Y'all
I
should
used to
copy
like
off of YR. Everyone should copy off YR, start going to concerts, filming it.
What I wish I'd like to get fucking a two-day passes, 2 days for fucking Lollapalooza this year, because Metallica's the Thursday. Metallica's the headliner Thursday, and fucking Sunday is the headliner is fucking Green Day. That would be worth it to get to see that shit, to have 2-day pass. But it's
but it's
a lot of money, man.
you gotta be prepared to like be there all day and shit.
Well, you can fucking take a break. You know what I'm saying? You can get a wristband.
But if it's like GA, you want to save your spot. You know what I mean?
Well, true. But the best thing to do would be if you could really afford. They have seats. They're really expensive, right? But they're right in the front row, and you can sit down and fucking. You're in the VIP, right? And what it is you get the only way to get in and out of your seats is where the performers come in and out of too.
They're in the Legends Lounge. The real Legends Lounge.
Yeah, it would be. It would. That would be awesome to be sitting there for fucking Metallica, man, because Lollapalooza, you're going to be standing. You know what I mean? It's standing room only. They pack 100,000 people or whatever, but it's all standing. It ain't seats. You know what I mean? So that's.
Would you rather get the autograph from them or get the picture and like a handshake from them? You gotta choose.
I would get both.
No, if you had to choose, they're like, all right, you either get the handshake and picture, James Hetfield, or you get an autographed. I don't know, like a poster.
Right now, the point the picture be a lot better because you could post it on Facebook and everybody would go gaga with that.
Nah, fuck that. I'd get the autograph.
I'd rather have the handshake in the picture.
Nah,
I would have. I take both.
Well, you can't have both. You get one, Brown. So if you have to choose,
that. I'd go for all the gusto.
Well, then you need to leave. Then you need to leave, sir. You need to leave. Pick one, or you need to leave.
We'll have I already took my one there, but still, that's me personally talking.
Excuse me, sir. We're gonna get a security to escort you out of the. Sir, one more outburst from you as well. We'll escort both y'all out of the arena, off the premises.
Listen, there's no bouncers, all right? We don't need no bouncers, all right? Settle down, bouncer. YR.
Bullfrog. If Bullfrog was here, he'd get a bouncer, but he would end up bouncing on the floor when we push him over there.
Frog's in the hospital.
YR's not big enough to fucking be a bouncer. Come on.
Frog has kidney stone, so he's in the hospital right now.
Bullfrog? Oh wow.
I just talked to Bullfrog a few days ago, dude.
Really?
Oh, took the Bullfrog behind the scenes, huh?
Dude, that ain't no news. I tell that said that before.
Wow.
Too.
I didn't know.
Wow. Why is that a big deal?
Wow.
Dude, I do what I want, don't I, YR?
Well, 2 months ago, you wanted to kill the guy, so.
Dude, Dude, fuck you.
You were wishing death on him back.
Here we go.
The assholes ruined it, so we can't never see. No more.
No, we need to get back into Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, we got to talk about that. Vikings, what are your favorite Led Zeppelin songs and albums from them?
Yes.
I don't know.
Never heard that one before. What album that's from? That's Ozzy. What are you talking about, man?
Stairway to Heaven? I don't know.
Stairway to Heaven's way overrated there. There's others. My personal two favorite albums from the Zeps had to be Presence and Into the Outdoor.
Never heard of that. What we
really?
In Through the Back Door, what?
Into the Outdoor. That's the name of the album. It came out in 1979.
I thought you said In Through the Back Door. Like, what?
No.
What are you talking about?
No. Well, Into the Outdoor came out in 1979. It was their last ever studio album. And the guys who did the design for the album cover did a great idea. They had multiple shots of the same location on each copy of the album there. And it was also placed inside of a paper bag with the bands and the song album title and the song titles on the back there. And it was a unique marketing strategy when you look at it there. You got to give the guys
that is a good point you make, because Vikings should do that, and maybe he can market his channel better. Put a bag over his head. Yeah.
Burn.
Make Real as Fuck TV grow. The channel on YouTube, make his channel grow.
As always. Cut me down. What a bitch.
No, but all in seriousness,
Oh,
I
put a bag.
remember listening
Okay.
to Physical Graffiti.
Mm-hmm.
Physical Graffiti. I remember listening to that
Mm-hmm.
in my early days of, obviously my introductory years of rock music, which was in my adolescent years, 20 years ago. And I'd have to say Physical Graffiti for me, because I like the vocals in it. You hear your typical songs all the time, rock and roll, blah blah blah, whole lot of love, which is still good, but you hear those songs all the time. And
IR, why don't you tell everybody the truth? Like, we know you learned all your music off the internet. Come on, man. Come
you
on,
learn all
dude.
the music, bro. 20 years ago there wasn't internet.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I
I
learned
know.
about Led Zeppelin from one of our neighbors back when we were back
I
when we were
don't.
living
Oh,
in Roseville there.
I got into the parents like CDs and listened to them and listen to stuff. I mean, like behind the music and shit on TV and
You never
on
fucking had
the radio.
What about vinyl? What about vinyl?
I mean, I never
Why
bought
are
a vinyl.
you never owned a fucking CD, YR.
I did. I owned the CDs and the binders. That you put CDs in, like the CD binders, the CD racks. Remember CD rack? Yeah, that shit.
What about
like Bullfrog?
what about vinyl?
Never had it, Brown. Because
Oh man!
I'm
What you
not
missing out on, man? We
What
have
do
a
you
place
mean?
called Space City Audio.
CDs is way better than vinyl. CDs sound.
Records are
The sound of CDs is way better than vinyl.
YR,
Yeah, but
brand new records are still being released. YR.
yeah, they're
But
over
I
at
don't know
Barnes and
what you're
Noble,
saying.
You want to
Walmart.
pay $10 for a CD. You want to pay $50 for a record, and the sound's not even as. You know what I'm saying?
Actually,
I'll
I dispute that
I'll
because
have
I
it a
picked
piece
up,
of it.
guys. I picked up the new Kiss Destroyer Resurrected from the nearby Walmart on orange vinyl. I played it on my record player, and it sounds pretty damn good.
That's what I'm saying. YR don't understand.
Well,
you get like
And plus,
you
and
have
plus,
the right-
plus
need
the
the
current.
right stuff.
hi-fi record player.
You need the right hookups with the you need like the right speakers, and you probably have that, Brown. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you can't just throw it on
And
the.
plus,
But I get what you're saying.
but you also got to remember that a lot of these, a lot of the newer releases on vinyl are remastered for the original tapes, and they're pressed on the 180-gram vinyl, so it'll sound like almost similar to a CD player. And plus, vinyl is hot right now. I mean, like,
YR, you ever seen an Eminem on fucking vinyl? Seen an Eminem record on vinyl before?
no,
Probably,
but
but the remakes.
You never see. I seen like the original Slim Shady on fucking
LP,
vinyl.
the LP.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Fuck
releasing
yeah,
all
dude.
those records. So they're the
No,
Eagles.
this was back. No. But this was when it came out originally. It came out on record too, and I seen it.
Zero records.
Dude, nah. And that's what I was gonna say too, though. That records could fucking sound really good, dude. You don't understand. They can, when you get the right shit, you got the right needle, and you got the good stuff.
And like I
They
said,
don't
being
fucking
remastered on this gramophone, that gramophone there.
Some people actually prefer to listen to their music on a record.
Yeah, because you get
Truthfully.
get the full feel from the vinyl record, then rather on the digitally recorded remastered CD at times there.
Man, I seen these fucking speakers. They cost $60,000. They're fucking they have real legit like the full like horns in them and shit.
Wow.
A small, medium, and large horn on the top, and then they go way back to fucking through the tubes. They have the tubes for the horns, and then they got big giant fucking sub in them, dude. And they're unbelievable. Like, this dude had them running to like 4 amps, and he had some fucking shit going. And I was like, damn. When I looked at the price, and I fucking, dude, they cost $60,000.
Now, I want to ask this one little question. I brought this. Now, when Drew was on the show here, Gatekeeper Drew, that is, we discussed the 50th anniversary of Led Zeppelin 4, the Untitled album with all. That's the main record from them. Their own Dark Side of the Moon. Stairway to Heaven, Black Dog, When the Levee Breaks, Misty Mountain Hop, and of course, I mentioned Stairway to Heaven there. one of the top songs that would be played forever on radio. And of course, we were talking about that, and I brought up something that I remember hearing years ago. The Satanic References. You remember the story about when you play Stairway to Heaven backwards, you hear all these satanic words and references in here. Here's to my sweet Satan and stuff like that there. Now, one of the stories I remember hearing is that Plant, Page, and Bonham visited a satanic priest, made a deal with the devil for fame and fortune, for success, and years on down the line, things started happening to the members of Led Zeppelin. There was reportedly a madman out to kill Jimmy Page. Plant's son would die from a still unknown illness. Plant himself almost died in a car wreck in Anthem's Greece there. And of course, years on down the line, John Bonham himself would die from the drinking too much there. And apparently that Page at the time was involved so into the occult that he apparently purchased Aleister Crowley's old house. Do you think, in your opinion, Vikings, do you think the story do you believe that story that Zeppelin may have did that, for fame and fortune, sold their souls to the devil?
Yes. It's like the start of the Illuminati. It's like the birth of the Illuminati with Zeppelin. It really is, if you think about it.
And when you think about it, it does
I
kind
mean,
of
really,
make
the Beatles.
sense.
Really, it's like the Beatles. Really, it's the Beatles. But like Zeppelin was like, you know what I'm saying, within the 70s and shit, right there.
Yeah.
So like 60s was the Beatles for sure, and with the Illuminati.
And still a
and then-
major influence on all the bands out there today. Not just the two copycats I mentioned a couple times before, Kingdom Come and Greta Van Fleet.
Greta Van Fleet's not that bad though.
Yeah, I've yet to even hear Greta Van Fleet there myself, but I remember hearing
I like
Kingdom
that.
Come.
Well, they used to sound like Zeppelin. They changed the sound now. It's different, but
Yeah.
not bad. Like if you sound like that Zeppelin, it's not a bad thing. Like
Yeah,
they were
sure
great.
there. Yeah, true there, yeah. But I know that the flack is going to come from the members of Zeppelin themselves. You remember Plant and Page went off on Kingdom Come back in the 80s when they first came out there. In fact, I remember I think Plant even went off on David Coverdale because apparently Still the Night from Whitesnake, kind of like a similar comparison to the way A Whole Lot of Love was arranged.
So they always said Whitesnake was like the rip-off Led Zeppelin, like
Something like that. You remember Hart and then Nancy Wilson. They were often christened the Little Led Zeppelin because Ann Wilson was able to channel Robert Plant's vocal styles very well there. In fact, when the Zeppelin was honored at the Kennedy Center, Hart was there performing Stairway to Heaven. And then on the Greatest Hits Live album that they put out in 1980, towards the end of that year, Hart did their version of Rock and Roll. And they dedicated it to the memory of John Bonham, who had just died a month before. There was rumored for a brief while that Jimmy Page and John Paul Jones was going to get together with Jason Bonham, Bonzo's son there, and it was going to get Miles Kennedy to take over Robert Plant's vocals. But doing so, I remember hearing that from a radio station back in around 2007. Rumors were spilling out that they was possibly do a reunion tour here in the States following the O2 reunion shows that year over in London, England. Of course, that would never probably happen, unfortunately, but it would be nice for the kids of this day to see the originators on stage.
yes.
But Plant, unfortunately, probably feels the need to move on to do other things. He just released it.
Alison Krauss.
A second
Waste of time,
collaboration
bro.
with her.
Like no one's listening to that. Like that's horseshit. It's a waste of time, bro. Go back with Zeppelin, like the Celebration Day thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, whoa, what are y'all doing? Like, what are they doing? Come on, let's do like one more last farewell tour, U.S. at
Or
least.
bet he
something.
had Plant and Page could do some records together like they did in the 90s there. Remember how big the No Quarter album they did together? How big that record was? That was all over MTV. They were basically doing a lot of Zeppelin songs rearranged, reworked there. They did an MTV special there that add on that network there. And he also did a follow record titled Walk Into the Clarksdale or something it's called there. I'd had a couple of hit songs from that record there, if I recall there. But the influence of
Art,
Zepp. No, go
Art, what
ahead.
are your favorite songs or and albums of Led Zeppelin? Deep tracks and everything.
Well, I have a deep affection for the first one,
Oh, yeah.
which I'll explain. And then Physical Graffiti would probably be my second choice.
Mm.
But the first one, I remember when I was 19. Let's be honest here. When that first came out, I was working at a department store, one of the early discount ones, Gibson's, and we got a new shipment of 8-tracks. And of course, every once in a while, I could open one up and throw it in the player.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that one and I said, "This looks interesting." Opened it up, threw it in, and the first song I hear is "Good Times, Bad Times." I'm going like, "Wow, what am I listening to?" And then I heard the rest of it, and I was like, "I gotta have this." And I went and bought the thing. So I got it right after it first came out.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, it was one of our next door neighbors that got me into Zeppelin. They had the first record there, the second record. My next door neighbor had both those records there, the first and second. And then they started buying more Zeppelin records like Physical Graffiti, Presence, Into the Outdoor. I got my copy of Into the Outdoor. Then I discovered cassettes, and I got a couple of those records on cassettes. In fact, I would say Presence. If I see it at the nearby Walmart or Barnes and Noble, I would definitely pick it up on vinyl there because it is a damn good record. One of my favorites.
And I also liked Houses of the Holy.
Yeah, credit. And by the way, the cover of that album was actually features a brother and a sister, painted white there. And and the location they filmed those kids in was actually located somewhere in Northern Ireland. I think it's called Giant's Causeway. I think it's called, if I'm correct there. I got to look that up again. But it was a brother and sister. They were photographed multiple times by the photographer. I think it's Aubrey Powell, one half of the Hypnosis design team there, the other half being Storm Thorgerson. They they did the cover there, splashed the kids in multiple positions and placed them all over the cover, like these kids going over to see this holy area there. The one that really took our breath away, me and my mom and my dad wanted to show them the gatefold, was two nude figures, all white, one holding up a female with his arms like Superman. And it was like I'm not sure, I think it may be in the same location, but it was in the nighttime this photograph was done. But that image was absolutely breathtaking right there. And Houses of Holy is a damn good record as well. No Quarter, Dire Maker, Dancing Days, which Rain Song, beautiful song from them, by the way. There, The Grudge, with the ending with "Where's that confounded bridge?"
The ocean.
The ocean, or the closing track there. Yep. And of course, we cannot forget Coda, which came out after Zeppelin's disbandment in 1980. Coda came out in 1982. It was like a collection of tracks that were recorded but never put on any album. A couple of tracks out there like Ozone Baby, Wearing a Terran, and Darlene. There was originally meant to be on Into the Outdoor. That album was meant to be a double album, but they decided to make it a single album instead. So those tracks ended up on the Coda release, And Wearing a Terry, by the way, was their answer to the punk rockers at that time, like The Clash, calling them boring old farts. So they made that song in response to that. So here's your boring. And of course, after Zeppelin's dismantlement, Plant would start a solo career, which was very successful. Page would put together the Firm for two albums, release one solo record titled Outrider.
What was the Verb like? bigger than it should have been.
Well,
Like it wasn't.
it wasn't that big, but it got some massive. It got airplay on the radio there. I know the song "Somebody to Love" from the first record was pretty good there, but the rest of the album, not that good there. I mean, the firm basically was Page, Paul Rogers from Bad Company, um, Neil Franklin on bass guitar, and Chris Slade, who would later join AC/DC on the drum kit there. They would record the two records there, The Firm and Mean Business. And by the way, the song on Mean Business, one of the tracks on there was a thing called Live in Peace. Now, Rogers released a solo record after Bad Company's dismantlement in '82 there. And it was called Cut Loose, and one of the songs on it was Live in Peace, a commentary of what was going on around the world there, all the battles, the wars between this country and that country there. They decided to re-record Live in Peace for the firm's second record there, and that became the second single from that album. All the King's Men was the first single, by the way, there. And of course, the firm was now gone. Page also credit to Page. He put out the soundtrack for Death Wish 2 with Charles Bronson in that same year, 1982 as well.
Okay. Name your top 3 Led Zeppelin songs in your mind right now.
Okay. My top 3 would have to be Candy Store Rock from Presence, the Rain song from Houses of the Holy, and Dazed and Confused from the first record, for the obvious reason. The violin bowl on the guitar effect that Page had going on, with the wah-wah pedal and the echo.
Can you do that, YR? Have you got 3?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do "Fool in the Rain," "Going to California," and "A Whole Lot of Love" on that one.
Oh yeah, big
that.
radio hits there. "Fool in the Rain" was all over the radio when "Into the Outdoor" came out there.
Heartbreaker.
Oh,
in there, too.
Heartbreaker.
Yes.
Which had a good solo there, solo interlude by Page himself there.
I'm going to go with Dazed and Confused, Black Dog,
Oh yeah.
and Cashmere.
All right.
Cashmere's probably my all-time favorite.
Oh, still a favorite.
I
Still
love
played.
the drums in that song.
Yeah, because it
Which
has.
songs can you play on the guitar, Brown, from Led Zeppelin? Do you know?
Well,
Any?
A Whole Lot of Love, Dazed and Confused, Black Dog, Rock and Roll.
I used to be able to play Thank You.
All right. Yeah. That's
Thank you, bud.
that's another song I should probably work as Thank You as well there.
It's not too difficult.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'd like to one of these days like to learn the opening chords to Achilles' Last Stand, so I could play that song there, or possibly, like I said, Candy Store Rock, or Hot's On for Nowhere, which is a badass track from Presence there. That's one of the great summer albums next to Sgt. Pepper and the Future Sound of London's Life Forms. You know.
Oh, In the Evening was another good one.
Oh, badass song there. Badass. Because it starts up with Page with the violin bow and John Bonham doing the little drums there. Boom, boom.
And Carousel Alhambra is interesting.
Great one, song. Another great one. The whole album is interesting as well. An interesting story about the song All My Love, which is in the middle of side 2 there. That song was written for Plant's son, who died a couple years earlier while he was on tour in 1977. You know, it was the illness. What happened was, it still remains unknown to this day there, but Zeppelin was doing their first tour for a long while there. Plant was unable to do any shows because he got in a car wreck in Anthem's Greece, as I mentioned there. He was in in fact, his leg was still in the cast while they were making that record. Presence being, that is. In fact, at one point, Plant was really getting into the song that he was singing, and he tipped over, fell down Jay Page ran right out of the control booth up to see and help Robert back up there. He said he never saw Jimmy Page ran so fast in his life ever. That shows you the bond those two have, you know. Right. Okay. Is Vikings fan still on the call by chance?
He left. He can't.
Oh crap! What's
He
going to
has
happen?
social. He has social issues like James Hetfield. So
Oh, we should probably get him on the call later on there. You know, and by the way, he left a message not too long ago before we went live saying, you know, to contact him on the channel that he called in on. You know, because I think because it was another. What am I talking about? The account that he called in on recently. Because I think he said you tried to contact him on another account, which is, I guess, dismantled, or not working, if I'm correct there. But either way, you know, what can we say? You know, all the other bands. Let's talk about the influence that they've done to give to everybody. I mean, like,
real quick,
yeah,
that object that's on the cover of Presents, and it's also on a couple other spots and other pictures.
yes,
That black thing.
yeah.
What is it?
What is it? I do not know. You know what? I'm going to look it up right now. Okay, let me see here. Led Zeppelin Presence Object. Okay? Because I want to see if they have a replica of that and order that through the mail there by chance there. Because they'd have
It
one
might
on
be called an obelisk, but I don't know.
object sculpture for about 1891. You know, let's see here. The project. The black obelisk object that is on featured on the cover on the sleeve of their album Presence was intended to represent the force and presence of the group. In 1976, their record label, Swan Song, produced about 1,000 replicas of this object to be used in 12-inch numbered promotional statues. And let's see here. The object, according to Ultimate Classic Rock, by the way, sold on eBay for about $2,000. And a little thing here, the object statue sells for about, it says here also $500, according to this other thing here. And let's see here. Now, it's also available, I guess it's replica statues. It looks just like the original. Let me look it up here on Amazon.com here, because I was expressing interest in that object myself. It's something to be a cool hanging in your room there.
you have a good one.
Yeah, right.
I think it's an obelisk.
Trump
Obelisk.
2024,
Yeah, thank you.
Brown.
What's up?
Trump 2024, Brown.
2024, what?
Trump 2024.
Why not? Please. Get this
Thank
country back a going there, because I'm
Okay.
sorry, Biden's a bitch. Biden is a bitch,
come on.
dude. You know, but I know.
Protecting you every day, bro.
But he's protecting in the wrong way. But he also should protect the country of Afghanistan. Instead of just getting all the
Nah, he needs
people
to
out
protect our country. Fuck Afghanistan. What are you talking about, man?
you know. But still,
No, I get what you're saying. You should protect the world.
yeah, exactly. Since
should
since
be
the U.S. are regarded as the police of the world, you know.
Who said that?
Filthy Mouth Gamer when they were talking about
Yeah.
a couple years back there.
Newsflash, Robert Plant will be joining the show, be calling in about 5 minutes.
Oh gosh.
Why does he do that Alison Krauss bullshit, bro? Like, he's
I don't
active,
know.
he's active musically, blah, blah, blah. Why does he do that? Like, bro, no one pays attention to that shit.
Well,
Like,
actually,
women,
the first record
like country fan women probably listen. Isn't Alison Krauss like country music or like
well,
folk
she's
music,
more like
something like that?
country bluegrass kind of stuff. But then again, Plant has been known to venture into different territories many times. Other than his solo career, he has also did that project with the Honey Drippers.
Currently, bro. Like, no one wants to hear that shit.
Well, actually,
Yeah, Honey Drippers had a couple of really good songs.
I'm not asking for a new album. I want like go to the major cities in America, do a tour, 25, 30 cities. Like that ain't for a couple months. You know, go to New York, go to, you know, Houston, go to, you know, all your major cities, Los Angeles. Have obviously what's his name, son with the drums.
John Bottom. I mean Jason
Bonham
Bottom.
on drums. Jason Bonham on drums. You know what I'm saying? Like why don't maybe Jim Page isn't active himself, obviously,
Yeah,
so
he
maybe
needs
that
to
might
get
be the
on the go.
major.
It'll either put out a new solo record or do something there. You know. In fact, by the way, there was a thing that he did. It was a 29-minute musical piece he did for a short movie called Lucifer Rising, directed by Kenneth Anger. And I guess Kenneth Anger is one of those, pro-Satan type of guys there. Because remember, Page was into that occult stuff, had big time around that period there. In fact, Page even makes a short appearance there in that movie there. Believe it or not, I saw the whole project there. It was basically no dialogue, just the music playing and all that jazz there. Look it up on YouTube. Lucifer Rising was basically done by Page. It's been reissued on this vinyl, I guess. But I think it's available only through jimmypage.com, if I'm correct.
Page did do some devil worshiping back then.
Yeah, apparently
cocaine and cannabis. You
Yeah.
know, smoking some joints back then and shit.
And like I said, he
Sure.
also lived in the house that Aleister Crowley lived in from years before. And God knows what kind of stories went on in that place there. In fact, that was the house where John Bonham died, believe it or not. I guess the two were having this sort of a drinking party, I guess, and I guess Bonham tried to drink too much at a certain amount of minutes there, and that apparently did it to him. So, and what's sad about that is that Bonham was such a powerful ass drummer. I mean, like, I remember there was a big debate in the junior high school that I used to attend there back when we lived in Roseville. And one of the guys was like, they could just get another drummer. They could just said, look at the Who. They got Kenny Jones to replace Keith Moon there. Yeah, but that's true there. But the thing is, will the people be accepting of this new drummer? Because, in the Who's case, Kenny Jones was a lot more calm, regular drummer, where Moon was like all over the damn place, with his drumming skills. And according to Barack Obama,
different
drummers,
right.
Exactly, yeah. And plus, if that person were to able to take over John Bonham's place, a lot of people are going to be climbing down his back saying, hey, you got a lot of big shoes to fill and you still haven't filled them yet. People be like, yeah, he's good, but he's not John Bonham. It doesn't sound the same without John Bonham. Because Bonham, according to our former president, Barack Obama, played the drums like his life depended on it.
Actually,
Well, how does Barack Obama know about that?
Well, when he was the MC when Zeppelin was honored at the Kennedy Center there a couple years ago. There,
All right.
he was the master of ceremonies.
Anyway,
Yeah.
It's been said that on the Muppet Show, the drummer Animal
Yep.
was modeled after Keith Moon.
Oh yeah, kind of explain. That makes sense there. Obviously, there, I can imagine those two doing a drum duet together if Moon was still alive. I see the resemblances now. Makes a lot of good point. Good. Thanks for the tidbit there. Makes sense altogether now. And we also got to talk about all the bands that have covered their songs throughout the years. I mean, like Lady Gaga was one time in the Led Zeppelin
Yeah,
tribute.
the P. Diddy thing, Puff Daddy issue. Remember
Yeah,
that?
that's right. Yeah, what they did is P. Diddy got together with Page there. We recorded Kashmir with some Diddy rap song on it under a different name. I guess it was called Come With Me. That was for the Godzilla 98 soundtrack, which sucked. And of course, the tribute albums, the influence on all the alternative rock bands as well there. I mean, like Stone Temple Pilots did their version of Dancing Days, which is pretty good there. Henry Rollins from Black Flag gives them a lot of credit as he does the Black Sabbath. And of course, Miley Cyrus, she up and did a Black Dog on the concerts as well there.
Holy cow.
That's what I said as well there. But Lady Gaga did it different. She gave a demonstration when she was on the Howard Stern show. I heard that. I was like, wow. If they decide to go without Plant, get Gaga in there. So, I guess so. What time is it right now? It's about a little after.
We've been on, yeah.
I guess it's about, I don't know. Actually, it's about 1 hour and 36 minutes over. That's we've been on here.
Right.
And what can we say? Led Zeppelin were a unique band. They were one of the most unique bands out there. They were able to channel ballads pretty well. They were able to channel hard rock. They were able to channel experimental stuff there. Like that last track of Hats Off to Roy Harper for the third record. Robert's vocals on that song there. I don't know how that was done. And I guess there was also a technique they used for the Levy breaks, the last track for the fourth record there. That was actually slowed down the same way Strawberry Fields was.
So who are we doing Monday night?
Who do you want
Judas
to do?
Priest.
Booyah, you read my mind. We got to
And then
talk about that.
Thursday we'll do Maiden.
Absolutely. And on the Monday after that, Motorhead.
And then our next topic will be
All right.
radio songs. I don't know. What do y'all want to do? Or
And, the problem with commercial radio, because there was a lot of talk about that on other programs, like the classic
no, we
metal
need to do
show.
some more. We need to get a list show in. We need to get a good, don't we? Or what do y'all think?
Sure.
All right. More lists? All right, let's do that then. Whatever comes to mind there, a list of records that should have been. How about bands that you feel should have made it but didn't?
Did we do that already?
I don't know if we ever. I mean, there was a lot of.
No, that's a good idea.
Yeah, but
Let's
like
talk about bands that we
artists
liked
we liked
that
it.
should have done better than they did.
Absolutely, there. I can name lots of them. Definitely got to talk about that for Shizzle so after we're done with our list here. All right. So I guess this is it, folks, for tonight's episode. Special shout out to Minnesota Vikings Fan for calling in to give it his take on this topic and Metallica as well there. All right there. So for myself, YR and Arknolia, and for Vikings Fan, everybody have yourselves a great evening, all right? Enjoy the rest of your Thursday night. You guys have a good one. Bye-bye.
Yo,
Yeah.
y'all, let me know we don't end.
All right, there. Let me check.
We're over.
All right, there.